There's a lot of strategy when it comes to drafting tight ends in fantasy football. Some people want to pay up, draft one of the top tight ends. Some people want to wait for the middle rounds. And then there's other people who like to stream tight ends, like to take their tight end with one of their last picks, play the waiver wire every week, play the matchups. There's a lot you can do with the tight end position. There's a lot of strategy. Today we're going to look at Greg Dulcich, tight end for the Denver Broncos. We're going to look at his upside. We're going to look at the quarterback situation. We're going to see whether or not you need him for fantasy football when we do this deep dive. And we're doing deep dives every single day on different players. And you're going to need to click that subscribe button right now because it's going to help you identify which players to pick up. We also do this in season with the waiver wire. Guys changing teams. Guys just getting in new situations and everything else. Click that button. Stop missing out. But today we're looking at Greg Dulcich. And one of the big reasons why, Bo Nix. Bo Nix has been looking good. He has earned a job. He has looked good since rookie camp. He has looked good at OTAs, minicamp, training camp. I've covered all the clips on the channel on Bo Nix. I've done a bunch of videos. And he has been exceeding expectations. He beat out the gatekeeper quarterbacks. Earned the starting job. He will be the first starting quarterback as a rookie for the Denver Broncos since 1983, John Elway. That is a big proclamation to the rookie quarterback. And the fact that he's already starting when some people were very down on him during the draft process says a lot about him. How he attacks the field is very advantageous for Greg Dulcich because he attacks the middle. He takes the safe play. He doesn't push it downfield. He's very safe with the football. In the last 2 years, he's only thrown 10 interceptions. He only threw 3 interceptions last year and 7 the year prior to that, and that was his first year at Oregon. But he's very safe with the football. He gets it out quick. He'll get it underneath to his guy. Who's going to be running routes in this range? Who is going to be running routes in this range a lot? It's going to be Greg Dulcich. That's where he likes to throw the football, and we're also seeing this in preseason. He dinks, he dunks, he takes the open man. But looking at Greg Dulcich, you're getting good size, adjusted athleticism, compares metrically, combine stats, production stats from college and the combine to David Njoku. Good over the middle. We've already seen that throughout his career, but he's been nicked up with injuries. Last year, missed 14 games. So he is a forgotten player in the NFL for fantasy, and he's falling in drafts. But when healthy on the field, he can be productive because look at what he's doing out there back in 2022. Giving you multiple tight end 1 weeks as a rookie. Last year, he didn't get much because he wasn't on the field. But we're seeing him turn up in preseason. We're seeing him in practice. And he can make plays happen. And now you look at the wide receiver depth chart here. And one thing you can say, it's very ambiguous. Watch for Tim Patrick. Watch for Courtland Sutton. Maybe even Josh Reynolds a little bit. Troy Franklin's the upside rookie. I like him a lot. Watch him throughout the season. Marvin Mims, from what I hear, he's fallen back a little bit on the depth chart. But don't always trust beat writers either. But pay attention to this. This depth chart's very ambiguous. But Greg Dulcich is the guy at the tight end spot. He's going to be running routes. He's going to be getting opportunities. And he's already proven to be productive. And you're looking at this offense here. Jerry Jeudy's gone. There's 82 vacated targets in this offense. And it could be going to one of the wide receivers. But also, Dulcich was out. In the year prior, he was getting targets. He was getting production when he was healthy on the field. And when he's not healthy on the field, things kind of change up a little bit. Adam Trautman has proven not to get it done with just 35 targets and 21 balls caught. However, they need somebody to step up, and they need somebody to step up in a big way. Bo Nix likes to attack the middle of the field, the short to intermediate, and he'll play it safe, but he will push it downfield as well. We covered that in his latest highlights from training camp practice, going deep with Courtland Sutton. We do have some options here in the passing game, but again, these wide receivers are very ambiguous, and how Bo Nix likes to attack the field. Short, intermediate, over the middle, taking the guy who's open. Greg Dulcich could be getting some workload, and when you look at the Denver offense, the pace of play, it's also ambiguous because we do not know what it's going to look like with Bo Nix, if it's going to be a little faster, a little slower. He is a rookie. Maybe we expect a rookie ramp up out of our quarterback here for Greg Dulcich. But again, moderate speed when it comes to pace of play. That's something to look at. We're getting 63 plays per game. The bottom set of numbers is with neutral game script. That's taking out the last 2 minutes of every half. And on top of that, the game has to be within 7 points. So when the game's tighter, they're a little bit slower. But also looking at what they had last year with the injuries, especially at the quarterback position, it's going to be a little bit slower. But if we got stability at the quarterback position, and maybe you were playing behind in some games, maybe it's tighter, maybe it's a little bit quicker. But when we look at Greg Dulcich, round 18 draft pick on Underdog Fantasy, but look at the graph here. People are starting to remember him because he's starting to make plays in preseason. He's starting to get opportunity. We're seeing him in training camp. People are starting to remember the name, and people are starting to trust Bo Nix a little bit, and that's what that graph says. Because prior, in July, June, people forgot about him. They weren't drafting him. They were not thinking about him, but it's starting to shoot up. That means the market's saying, hey, we're willing to spend a lottery ticket on him as a late-round tight end. And you're looking at where he's going in basic leagues. This is from 4for4. This is multi-site ADP. So an average between ESPN, Yahoo, NFL, all the sites here, and many others, an average, he's not going drafted in many leagues. You really don't have to draft him. But if you're looking to draft a tight end with one of your last picks, and you're just going to play the waiver wire, you're going to be looking at Greg Dulcich one way or another. Either with one of your last picks, or plucking off the waiver wire. He will be on the field. He will be running routes. He'll probably have a good route participation rate. He's got a lot of upside here. If you're looking for a late round tight end, this is the guy to look at. If you drafted a tight end early, I would not look for a second tight end. I would just be cashing in on upside plays at wide receiver and running back, double-digit rounds, maybe more running back than wide receiver. But again, if you're going middle round, the late round tight end, you're playing the waiver wire, there's going to be some point, whether it's in your draft or in season, you're probably going to look at Greg Dulcich if he's healthy and on the field. If he's healthy, he's going to be on the field. That's one thing. So you're going to end up looking at him somewhere down the line and then looking at the schedule. The thing is about this, we have a lot of variables here. New defenses, new personnel, a rookie quarterback, pace of play, targets, where they're going to be distributed out. So really the matchups are very ambiguous. Week 3 here against Tampa Bay, they've been known to be more pass funnel over the last few years. That could be a situation that could allow him to hit. But again, bad matchups could go to the tight end as well, as you got a quarterback here that's willing to play for the next down, toss it down to the shorter target that's open, and just keep the chains moving just a little bit at a time. So that could go to Greg Dulcich and help him out. Maybe he racks out 4 catches for 50 yards, and maybe he gets you 9 to 10 fantasy points that week and saves your scalp and not fluster. But we don't know. But there's going to be some opportunity here throughout the season. You don't need them. You don't need a cheap lottery ticket. You want to pay up for tight end. You want to feel safe. If you catch him as your main guy, it is a little bit risky because of the rookie quarterback play and everything else. Hasn't been on the field much over the last few years. There is some risk, but he's so cheap, there's no risk. But if you do not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, it is very risky, and you go ahead and draft him thinking he's going to be your guy. But if you love to stream tight ends, if you're looking for a late round tight end, if you're drafting tight end with one of your last picks, this is a guy to look at. This is a guy to look at. Again, you got to strategize correctly here. If I'm paying up for tight end, I don't need him. I don't want him. I just want that good tight end that I paid up for. When he's on bye, if he gets hurt, then I'm streaming. I'm paying cheap. However, if I'm streaming anyways, I'm going into my draft saying, hey, I'm getting me a late tight end, and I'm playing matchups going forward throughout the year. And with everything averaged out between all those tight ends, I'm probably going to get tight end 1 production at a cheaper cost. I'm just going to have to sweat out some weeks. Dulcich is a guy you're going to look at either on draft day or off the waiver wire, but he's not getting drafted in a lot of leagues. But once you get to those last rounds and you want to look at tight end and you got ick at running back or you don't care about the guys on the board, you're good to go if you want to make that selection. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.